All right, since we have completed the chapter, we are going to discuss a little bit about some of the questions and their answers from the chapter of photosynthesis in higher plants. So, what we are going to see here is like mostly this chapter, like it has a diverse range of questions that can be arranged. Definitely, the one marks questions are there are abundance. There are large number of abundance of one marks question that is possible from this chapter. From within the topic, it can be like one or two points can be pulled up and can be asked as a question for one marks. So mostly like there is no shortage of questions for one marks if we consider that. Now, as you know, there are MCQ based questions are also possible nowadays. So there will be MCQ based questions from this particular chapter. There is a chance of having some MCQ based questions from this chapter. So being an MCQ is quite easy to understand. Like for instance, I can cite one example here that it can be asked properly that in the case of the process of the Kelvin cycle, in it can be asked like Kelvin cycle is present in which particular type of pathway, means C3, C4, C2, and CAM. So it is actually present in all of them except like in C2. In the case of C2, mostly we see that it's a diversion, isn't it? It's a diversion from the process of the entire, because C2 is going on one side, but if the I'm sorry, the Kelvin cycle is going on in one side, but if by any chance the C2 pathway, which is the photorespiration process, has been triggered, then usually the Rubis coenzyme cannot convert the or the fix the carbon dioxide there. Instead, it starts reacting with or starts fixing with the carbon, means whatever component, the PAPE carbonate that is there, or phosphoglyceric acid that is being formed, it will be converted into phosphoglycolate by using oxygen, right? So in those cases, we are going to find that it is a deviation. You are not going to find any Kelvin cycle taking place in the C2 pathway or the photorespiration process. But other than that, the rest of the process that are mentioned, all C3, C4, and CAM, all three of them will show the Kelvin cycle. So there lies a question, isn't it? This can be one type of question here, because this can even be a MCQ that where it is not found. So it will be photorespiration where you are not going to find the process of Kelvin cycle taking place, right? So that is like one example to cite you as an example, that one. Okay, likewise there can be many type of questions that can be arranged. Now the mostly the chapter actually it has a lot of differentiation or comparison type of question, right? Now comparison is actually possible in this chapter because there are so many types of comparison comparative systems are actually present. For example, the very first one, the cyclic photophosphorylation and the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. You're clear, the Z scheme pathway or the normal cyclic process where a single photosystem is actually the Z scheme pathway, which is the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. We were quite familiar with that because there are two photosystems that are involved in the process, and there is like splitting of the water is taking place with the evolution of oxygen, and finally ATP and NADPH, both the things are being formed. But in the case of cyclic photophosphorylation, we are finding that there is only one single photosystem present there, and it is like recycling the electron that is releasing from excitation of the chlorophyll itself, right? And there is no involvement of splitting of water, thus there is no involvement or there is no production of oxygen taking place, neither there is any production of ATP also going on here. So that's why, I'm sorry, I just said the wrong thing. There's actually production of ATP is taking place, but neither any production of NADP is taking place. NADPH is not being produced here, isn't it? So that means this process is a deviation from the process of the non-cyclic, the one that normally happens everywhere in every single type of plant, right? Whereas this method is usually seen in the photosynthetic bacteria, where we do find this, or a very simple type of organism where they require just production of energy. There we find that the cyclic photophosphorylation step is going on, right? Now these two process is completely different than each other. That's why a comparative table is possible. Similarly, there are anatomy of the leaf of the C3 plant and C4 plant, definitely a very important example, or very important comparative data, means how the plant looks like. And let me tell you something, it actually so it's actually like this particular question it is a part of a major question, which is the C4 and C3 pathway itself. Okay, because means it's here, it's just simply the question is focused onto the anatomy, but even it's possible that the C3 type of pathway and the C4 type of pathway can itself become a big question, and the difference between them becomes a very large answer, isn't it? There are multiple differentiation that is possible from the particular topic. So here we're going to find that the uh, pardon with the sound, there's like construction going on adjacent to my home. So what we're going to find here is that the anatomy, mostly the major anatomy that we're going to see, which is Kranz anatomy. And Kranz anatomy, it's a structure which is seen in the C4 plant, not the C3. So we need to keep in mind that the, well, I will be discussing about it because there is another slide for that particular thing. So Kranz anatomy, you know it's very well, and so this kind of anatomical features or comparative data of the anatomical feature of the plant to different type of plant is quite an like important question, we must say. And the photosystem itself also can become a part of a comparative data, because the photosystem definitely they work in a completely different manner. And since they are being discovered in such a way, means evolution of oxygen, everything, it happens in the two different type of photosystem, in a photosystem 2 actually it happens, but not in photosystem 1. So that becomes quite important topic itself. So that is one type of question. Now coming to other than like those comparative questions, so we have this enzyme, this Rubisco, one of the most important enzyme that you can find in the entire biology. Means everywhere when we talk about like biology based questions or enzyme based questions and everything, this Rubisco is actually one of the most important enzyme that we can talk about. All right, this Rubisco is actually present like in most, like in every plant, we can say every higher plant actually contains this Rubisco enzyme. It is is an enzyme which is acting as a carboxylase and an oxygenase, both the type variety. Even that is also one important thing about this enzyme itself, that it can behave as a fixer of carbon dioxide and also as a fixer of oxygen, both the things. So this material, this particular plant, this particular plant enzyme rather, is actually something that we are going to find that is actually the mesophyll cells, they are producing this PEP carboxylase enzyme, which is fixing the carbon dioxide in the form of oxaloacetic acid, as in the case of the C4 plant. But then again, it can be found in the bundle sheath. This will enter into the bundle sheath, and there we are going to find that the conversion is taking place there, the decarboxylation is taking place, and then Rubisco is acting as a one which fix the carbon dioxide into the Kelvin cycle that is taking place inside. So definitely it becomes important. Okay, and the enzyme itself is also capable of um, like uh, it's also capable of going for the oxygenase activity. So it means that it can actually fix oxygen also, as in the process of the photorespiration we will see that. So that is actually an important thing about this enzyme. Now next we have the rate of photosynthesis, and the question, well, this is sometimes a, like, one marks question or a part of a major question, right? Like, why does the rate of the photosynthesis decline in presence of continuous light? Definitely the photo oxidation of the chlorophyll is actually the factor. Means the chlorophyll itself get degraded in a way, and due to that the chlorophyll is incapable of carrying out its normal function of release of the electron, or the activation of the entire photosystem and everything. So this is a very important question. Now talking about that, uh, chlorophyll and all, and its activation, this light harvesting complex, it usually becomes a question of 3 marks, or even sometimes becomes a one part of the 5 marks question, where the entire light harvesting complex, it can be explained. Now keep in mind, up until now I have not said for a single moment that you have to include any diagram or anything, right? But it is usually that this question, if it is asked in a larger question, is a major question, then you can include a diagram there. Okay, you can include a diagram with this LHC complex, and you can write about it. Finally, when we talk about the absorption spectra of the light, you know the graph is there. What are the absorption spectra? Where do you see the absorption of the light wave, which particular wavelength of light is taking place? That everything, that entire chart with the diagram, it is again necessary. Usually these two questions are part of like 3 marks question, and you can introduce a diagram there. With this particular type of question, you can introduce a diagram. It's not necessary that only writing is only the thing that will help you out. Now, as I mentioned that C4 pathway, now the reason I told you the C4 pathway is there is because actually the pathway itself is a major question. The C4, the C3, both the pathways are actually part of like they can be a 5 marks question itself. It's always a part of the 5 marks question. Okay, because this particular thing, this diagram, even this diagram is also very crucial because you need to draw the diagram, you need to draw the like label. As you can see, this is the Kranz anatomy. Oh, by the way, I did mention that I'll talk about the Kranz anatomy. So this is actually the Kranz anatomy, where you see the mesophyll cells are surrounding the bundle sheath like that. Okay, so this particular structure and all, you need to draw that, and you need to explain it properly, like what particular type of reaction is taking place inside. So you are not explaining it in large, means you are not explaining this entire thing in a very detailed manner, but rather this entire process is explained in a very simplistic way, you can say. So this particular approach, it should be maintained, and this particular diagram you need to practice at all, right? um, this is quite important. So those are like some questions I wanted to discuss with you guys, which is like related to this particular question.